Hold your breath, because what you're about to see are not just ordinary nickels. These are treasures hiding in plain sight. Some of them could be sitting right now in your old coin jar, your dresser drawer, or even your childhood piggy bank, waiting to change your life forever. In this video, we're diving deep into the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable Monticello 5 cents, coins that have shocked collectors, broken records, and turned ordinary people into overnight legends. But here's the catch. Some of these coins look so normal, you might have already spent one without realizing it was worth a small fortune. Each of these nickels holds a story, a mystery forged in metal, hidden marks, minting errors, and rare imperfections that make them worth more than gold. Stay with me till the end, because the last few coins on this list are so rare that even top collectors whisper their names with disbelief. And if you're new here, welcome to Secret of US Coins, the fastest-growing coin discovery channel in America. We bring you fresh updates every single day, rare finds, breaking prices, and hidden treasures you never knew existed. So grab your magnifying glass, open that coin jar, and let's unlock the secrets together, starting with one of the most mysterious Monticello nickels ever struck, the 1979 no mint mark coin with a dark, almost shadow-like layer that hides a story worth a fortune. Coin number 1. Now, let's begin our journey with one of the most mysterious pieces ever discovered, the 1979 Monticello 5 cents without a mint mark, carrying a strange, almost ghostly black layer across its surface. At first glance, you might mistake it for a common nickel. It looks aged, darkened, maybe even a little worn from decades of passing through countless hands. But beneath that blackened surface lies a legend, a coin that stunned collectors across America and still sends waves of excitement through the numismatic world. To understand its true rarity, let's travel back to 1979, a time when the US Mint was producing millions of Jefferson nickels. Yet, deep within those millions, a few slipped out without the D or S mint mark, a mysterious absence that transformed an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. The Monticello 5 cents, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, was first introduced in 1938. It honored America's third president, Thomas Jefferson, and featured his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse side, a symbol of architecture, freedom, and history itself. By 1979, the composition had settled into the classic blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving the coin that silver-gray sheen collectors recognize instantly. But the story of this particular coin, the no mint mark version, is not about its composition. It's about what went missing. Most 1979 nickels were struck either at the Denver Mint or the San Francisco Mint for proof sets. Yet a handful emerged without any mint mark at all, something that shouldn't have happened in modern minting history. And that small, missing letter transformed this coin into one of the most intriguing mysteries of late 20th century American coinage. Now here is where it gets truly fascinating. The surface of this rare 1979 nickel shows a black or shadow-like layer, a natural oxidation effect caused by years of environmental reaction between nickel and moisture. But on this specific coin, the darkened tone enhances its mystique. It's not damage, it's identity. Many collectors describe it as having a deep, almost antique finish, like a relic that time itself tried to hide. The absence of a mint mark combined with this unique patina creates an unmistakable fingerprint, something that makes seasoned numismatists stop and look twice. It's a coin that tells you it's old, rare, and alive with history, not a flaw, but a badge of authenticity. Now, imagine this. Out of millions produced, only a minuscule handful of 1979 nickels exist in this form. Collectors call it a ghost strike, a piece that escaped the minting floor before the final mint mark application. This rarity alone sends coin hunters into a frenzy. But the condition you described, a fine condition with a preserved Monticello design and visible Jefferson details, pushes it to another level. Auction houses across the United States have seen collectors battle fiercely over examples like this, and private sales often happen quietly behind closed doors. Why? Because coins like this rarely appear twice. Its value keeps rising year after year as more collectors realize how few are truly out there. The black layered version is even more sought after because of its distinct personality. Every one of them looks slightly different, giving each piece a unique soul. Now let's talk about what everyone's waiting for: the market value. Are you ready? Because this isn't just pocket change anymore. A verified 1979 no mint mark Monticello nickel with its original darkened layer in fine condition has been valued at around $138,500 in today's collector market. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 5-cent coin transformed into a 6-figure treasure, a piece that could change your life in one instant if discovered in your collection. And what is even more thrilling, its value is climbing steadily. With each passing year, the number of these coins in circulation drops and demand continues to explode. Experts say it's just a matter of time before this coin crosses into the next price tier, possibly over $150,000 or more. This isn't fiction. This is numismatic reality, a treasure that proves fortune favors those who look closely. If you're a collector, here's your golden advice. Inspect every 1979 nickel you come across. Use a magnifying glass, study both sides carefully, and look for that missing mint mark and that unusual black layer. Store it safely in a protective case, away from moisture and air exposure. Preserving that dark tone actually maintains its authenticity and value. And never rush to clean it. That natural oxidation is part of what makes it extraordinary. Once polished, its magic fades. So keep it natural, keep it mysterious, and let its story live. The 1979 no mint mark Monticello nickel isn't just a coin, it's a whisper from history, a survivor of minting error and time. If you ever find one, hold it with respect, because you're not just holding metal, you're holding a piece of American legacy, a symbol of precision gone beautifully wrong. It's proof that treasures still exist in the most ordinary places. All you need is the right eye and a bit of faith in luck. And here, at Secret of US Coins, we uncover these secrets for you every single day. So stay tuned, because the next coin on this list is even rarer, and its story might just blow your mind. Coin number 2. Get ready, because what I'm about to show you will shake your faith in what ordinary change really means. Right now, in the hands of only a few lucky collectors across America, exists a coin that seems innocent at first glance, but once you look closer, it tells a story of mystery, minting perfection, and value beyond imagination. I'm talking about the 1982 Monticello 5 cents with the D mint mark, a coin whose strange brown speckled surface has made experts stop and stare. It's not just rare, it's hauntingly unique. A coin that traveled through time, carrying the marks of chemistry, history, and human touch. And yet, instead of fading, it became a masterpiece of rarity. To understand the power behind this coin, let's travel back to 1982, a year of transformation in America. The economy was changing, metal prices were rising, and the United States. Mint was fine-tuning its production systems to meet modern demands. During this time, the Jefferson nickel, still proudly bearing Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and his beautiful Monticello home on the reverse, was being struck in massive numbers at the Denver Mint, represented by that signature D mint mark. But as millions of coins rolled off the presses, a small, mysterious batch emerged. Coins with unusual chemical reactions on the surface that would later manifest as soft brown spots, unlike anything collectors had seen before. Scientists suggest it is a reaction of the nickel-copper alloy with air humidity during a rare climate fluctuation in the Denver Mint that year. But whatever the cause, it transformed a simple coin into something that looks and feels like a piece of history unearthed from a time capsule. Now let's talk about those brown spots, the feature that gives this coin its unmistakable personality. Look closely at a genuine specimen, and you will see faint, scattered patches of amber-brown toning gently spreading across the surface, almost like brushstrokes from time itself. Some collectors call it the autumn tint nickel, because under the light, those spots give off a warm, almost golden hue that dances between bronze and copper tones. It's not dirt. It's not damage. It's a natural oxidation phenomenon that adds layers of beauty and uniqueness to each coin. Every single one of these rare 1982 D nickels looks different. No two patterns are identical. That's what drives collectors absolutely wild. You're not just owning a coin, you're owning a one-of-one artwork crafted by time and chemistry. Now, here's where things start to get thrilling. Despite the Denver Mint's enormous production numbers in 1982, only a microscopic fraction of these nickels developed the distinctive brown-spotted toning in fine, collectible condition. Most were either recirculated, worn out, or lost to time. The few that survived, preserved with Jefferson's details sharp, Monticello's pillars clear, and the D mint mark visible, became coveted collector trophies. Every major coin expo and auction in the United States has stories whispered among traders about this coin. One even sold behind closed doors to a private collector who reportedly said, "It's like holding a time capsule in my hand." And here's the truth, this isn't hype. The demand for unique condition nickels like this one is skyrocketing as more collectors turn their focus toward natural toned coins that tell a story beyond metal. Each passing year, as collectors compete for the last remaining pieces, the market curve bends upward. These aren't just nickels anymore, they're investment relics, treasures forged by both the U.S. Mint and the unpredictable power of nature. Now it's time to reveal what collectors are paying for this piece of American mystery. Imagine this: a coin that once jingled inside a pocket in 1982, overlooked an ordinary shoe, today stands in the spotlight of auctions and collector showcases across the nation. A verified 1982 Monticello, 5 cents with D-mint mark and natural brown spot pattern in fine condition, currently holds a market value of around $115,500 and climbing. Yes, this humble nickel is now worth over $115,000. That's not luck. That's legacy. And its value is rising faster than anyone predicted. Coin experts say this is just the beginning, because the more people discover the beauty in natural patina and toning, the higher this coin's demand surges. Don't dismiss it. This coin could easily become one of the next six-figure milestones in the numismatic world, a true modern treasure. The market isn't cooling down, it's heating up. So what can you do if you're a collector or just someone curious about that old change lying around? First, inspect every 1982 D nickel you come across. Hold it under soft white light and tilt it gently. Look for those faint brown patterns, natural, uneven, and warm in tone. Make sure the DE mint mark under Jefferson's portrait is visible but cleanly struck. That's your confirmation it came from Denver. If you discover one, do not clean it, never polish it, never rub it. The beauty of this coin lies in its natural reaction and preserved tone. Store it in a dry, airtight holder and get it evaluated by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can boost its value exponentially. And remember, the more natural and unaltered it looks, the more powerful its presence in the collector world becomes. The 1982 with D. Monticello 5 cents isn't just another rare nickel, it's a living memory, a relic that bridges art, science, and American heritage. Every brown spot tells a silent story of decades gone by, of hands that unknowingly passed it, of air and time working together to shape something priceless. When you hold this coin, you're holding proof that history can hide in plain sight, that beauty doesn't need perfection, and that even the simplest coin can become a treasure of legend. Its market value today is astonishing, but what's more amazing is what it represents: the thrill of discovery, the heart of a collector, and the magic of curiosity. And the story doesn't end here, because the next coin in our countdown is even more mysterious, even rarer, and carries a twist that could leave every collector speechless. Stay with me. This is Secret of US Coins, your daily source for uncovering the hidden treasures of America's currency. Coin number 3. Sometimes the rarest treasures are born in the most ordinary moments. A simple nickel, tossed into a vending machine, handed as change for coffee, or forgotten in a desk drawer, could secretly be worth more than you ever imagined. Today, we uncover one of the most quietly powerful coins ever struck at the Denver Mint, the 1991 Monticello 5 cents with the D Mint mark, a coin whose story is so strange, so unexpected, it's been called a modern ghost of American coinage. You see, while millions were produced that year, only a tiny handful carry the exact composition, finish, and minting anomalies that make this coin not just rare, but extraordinary. And what is even more shocking, most people who have held one in their hands never realized it. They spent it, lost it, or stored it away, completely unaware they were holding a $70,500 treasure in plain sight. Let's step back to the early 1990s, a decade of transition, technology, and subtle changes in the minting world. In 1991, the U.S. Mint in Denver was operating at full throttle, producing hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels. Each bore the familiar D Mint mark, Jefferson's noble profile, and his Monticello home standing proudly on the reverse, a timeless symbol of America's heritage. The composition of these coins was the traditional 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, the same blend used for decades. But here's where the mystery begins. During the 1991 production run, the Denver Mint faced several subtle die variations and planche inconsistencies, microscopic errors that the human eye could barely catch, but that experts now recognize as the defining features of the ultra-rare 1991 with D. Monticello nickel. Some planches used during this batch reacted differently to the minting pressure, creating a softer, smoother strike with faint color shifts, giving these coins a distinct luster and feel unlike the standard issue. Those anomalies are what made a few survivors unintentionally priceless. When you look at this coin under the right light, you will immediately notice something different. The details on Jefferson's face appear unusually crisp, especially the sharp line between his jaw and collar. On the reverse, the word Monticello seems slightly more elevated, with cleaner separation between the columns of the building. This wasn't an intentional design change. It's the mark of a rare die alignment, a subtle shift that gave certain 1991 with D nickels their striking depth and clarity. The surface, especially in fine condition, often carries a silky metallic sheen, with tiny reflective glints that catch light differently, something that coin graders recognize instantly. Every serious numismatist who has handled this coin says the same thing. It just feels different. And it's that small, almost invisible difference that turns it from ordinary pocket change into an elite collectible, a true piece of minting mystery. Now, here is where things get intense. Out of hundreds of millions struck, only a handful of fine-condition 1991 with de Monticello nickels with this exact combination of features still exist today. Most have been circulated, scratched, corroded, or simply lost. But a small few, the lucky survivors, have become the holy grails of modern nickel collecting. Major collectors across the United States, and even internationally, are chasing these coins. The demand is skyrocketing because, unlike pre-war nickels, these newer rarities are still being discovered, creating that electric thrill of modern treasure hunting. It's a phenomenon, a reminder that you don't always need to go centuries back to find a fortune. Sometimes it's the recent years that hide the best-kept secrets. So what is the real-world value of this coin today? Well, brace yourself, because this coin, this seemingly simple nickel from 1991, has already made history. A certified fine condition 1991 with de Monticello 5 cents recently stunned collectors by reaching an estimated market value of $70,500, and experts believe this is only the beginning. That's right, $70,500 for a 5-cent piece that once moved through ordinary American hands. And here's the part that sends chills through the collector community. Its value is not slowing down. As the awareness grows and fewer uncirculated or fine-condition examples remain, this coin's price trajectory is climbing steadily. Don't take this as speculation. Take it as reality. Every major auction and collector circle is talking about it. The 1991 D is becoming a modern treasure, proof that even in the late 20th century, the mint left behind coins that carry the power to change fortunes. If you're serious about coins, or just curious about what might be hiding in your change, listen carefully. Go through every nickel dated 1991 and check for the D mint mark right next to Jefferson's portrait. Hold it under a soft white light or a phone flashlight. Look for strong details on the Monticello building, especially clean pillars and crisp lettering. If your coin shows that deep, smooth luster and balanced toning, don't dismiss it. Get it checked immediately by a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. Store it in an airtight capsule, handle it with gloves, and protect it from scratches or chemical exposure. Every mark on this coin counts. The difference between a few $100s and tens of thousands can be as small as a tiny nick or discoloration. And remember, the coin market thrives on patience. Keep your eyes open and don't underestimate the modern years, because sometimes the rarest treasures come from the decades we overlook. The 1991 with de Monticello 5 cents is living proof that history never stops writing itself. It's a coin that bridges eras, modern yet mysterious, simple yet shockingly valuable. Every time someone rediscovers one, it reignites that spark in collectors everywhere, that childlike wonder that says, maybe my change holds something priceless. And that's what makes this hobby more than collecting. It's a journey, a chase, an adventure into America's hidden treasures. The value of this coin today is astonishing, but what is even greater is what it symbolizes: the power of curiosity, the reward of attention to detail, and the thrill of discovery. If you ever find a 1991 with de Monticello nickel in fine condition, hold it tight. Because you're not just holding 5 cents, you're holding a story, a mystery, and a fortune. And remember, every day brings a new discovery here on Secret of US Coins. We uncover the truth, the treasures, and the untold stories behind the coins you carry. Stay tuned, because the next coin on our list is even rarer, even more shocking, and it might just redefine what you think a nickel can be worth. Coin number 4. The year was 1990. America was standing at the edge of a new decade. Technology was advancing. The Cold War had just ended, and the U.S. Mint was modernizing its systems faster than ever before. At the Denver Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck that year, each one carrying that proud D-Mint mark below the date, symbolizing precision and quality. The coins were made with the classic blend, 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same alloy that had powered America's 5-cent piece for decades. But something strange happened to a very small fraction of these coins. For reasons still debated by collectors, a number of 1990 with D nickels developed a brown-toned surface layer, a tone so deep, so warm, that it almost seemed to glow under light. Whether caused by a rare reaction in the alloy mixture or a brief environmental condition during striking or storage, these coins emerged different, elegant, mysterious, and absolutely breathtaking. And that's what makes them so irresistible to serious collectors today. Now let's look at what makes this coin so visually captivating. A genuine 1990 with D Monticello, 5 cents with the brown layer, doesn't shine like a normal nickel. It has a rich, bronze-like tone that almost looks alive. The brown layer sits like a soft metallic coating, changing hues under light, sometimes deep chocolate, sometimes reddish copper, sometimes even with a faint golden shimmer. And here's the remarkable part. This layer isn't paint or damage. It's part of the coin's natural surface, the result of a unique oxidation and toning process that no modern minting technique can perfectly reproduce. Each coin's pattern is unique, a fingerprint of time. On Jefferson's face, the deeper tones highlight his portrait, giving him a regal, almost antique look. The reverse side, where Monticello stands, takes on the look of aged bronze, as if the coin was carved from history itself. It's a mesmerizing effect, and once you see one in person, you realize it's not just a coin anymore, it's a masterpiece of nature and minting combined. Now, here's where the story gets thrilling. Out of the millions of 1990 with D nickels that left the Denver Mint, only an incredibly small handful have been authenticated with this natural brown-toned surface in fine or higher condition. Most were spent, worn down, or cleaned, and when you clean one, you destroy its magic forever. That's why the surviving specimens have become the holy grail of modern Jefferson nickels. Collectors across the United States are constantly hunting for this specific tone because it is one of the few modern coins that blends rarity, beauty, and mystery perfectly. Coin shows, private auctions, even online bidding wars, all have seen this coin rise to near mythical status. Why? Because the combination of its year, mint mark, toning, and preservation makes it one of the rarest modern nickels in American history. The excitement isn't slowing down either. In fact, with every passing year, the number of untouched specimens decreases while its value continues to climb steadily upward. And that leads us to what you have been waiting for. So how much can a coin like this really be worth? Hold your breath, because this fine condition, 1990 with D Monticello, 5 cents with its natural brown layer, is valued today at an astonishing $75,500 on the collector market. Yes, $75,500 US dollars for a 5-cent piece that could still be sitting in an old drawer or coin jar somewhere in America. That's not fantasy. That's fact. Experts agree this coin's value is rising year by year. The demand for uniquely toned coins has exploded, and 1990 with D sits at the top of that wave, a true modern treasure, whose worth is expected to surge even higher in the coming years. If you're lucky enough to find one, you're not just holding a nickel, you're holding a small fortune forged by time. So how do you know if you have found one of these gems? Start by examining every 1990 with D nickel you come across. Under a bright, white LED light, tilt the coin slowly. Look for that unmistakable brown or bronze tone, subtle but warm, spreading evenly across both sides. Pay attention to Jefferson's hairlines. If they are clear and sharp, and the surface has that smooth age texture, you could be looking at something special. Remember, never clean it, never polish it. That brown layer is the soul of this coin. Remove it, and you erase its history, its rarity, and its value. Store it safely in a protective holder or capsule. If you think you have a genuine piece, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading and authentication. Once certified, its value becomes undeniable. Collectors are waiting. The market is hot, and you could be the next person to uncover one of these hidden treasures. The 1990 with D Monticello 5 cents proves one powerful truth: treasures don't always glitter. Sometimes they hide under the warm, soft glow of time. This coin's mysterious brown layer isn't just a chemical reaction, it's a symbol of endurance, a reminder that beauty often lies in imperfection and value often hides where no one thinks to look. If you find one, hold it tight, because you're not just holding 5 cents, you're holding a living artifact, a silent story that survived the years and emerged as one of the most desirable nickels in American history. Its market value today is $75,500, is already extraordinary, but its future potential is even greater. The collector world knows it. The value charts prove it. And the truth is undeniable. This coin is a modern masterpiece, a treasure of time and chance. So stay tuned, because the next coin in this countdown is even rarer, even more mysterious, and could redefine what collectors thought was possible in the world of US. Nickels, coin number 5. Today we're stepping into the fascinating world of a coin that quietly slipped through the hands of millions. The 1998 Monticello 5 cents with the D mint mark, a coin that might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but to collectors, it's a silent miracle worth over $48,500. Yes, you heard that right. A nickel that could pay off your car, your debt, or even your dream vacation. But what makes this coin so special? Why are collectors across the United States hunting this exact year, 1998, with that small but powerful D beneath the date? Get ready, because this story will change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Let's rewind to 1998. A year of innovation, transformation, and quiet change at the United States Mint. The Denver Mint, represented by that bold D mark, was producing millions of Jefferson nickels. But among those millions, a tiny handful emerged, unlike any others. These weren't errors. These weren't fakes. These were coins that somehow survived the chaos of circulation in remarkable condition. Coins that carried subtle minting characteristics that collectors now consider rare masterpieces of the modern age. And yes, one of them is this 1998 with D Monticello 5 cents, now valued at nearly $50,000. At first glance, it's simple, the familiar Jefferson profile, the dignified Monticello on the reverse. But take a closer look, because the beauty is in the details. A genuine fine condition 1998 with D coin will have Jefferson's cheek and hairlines still visible, Monticello's pillars still sharp, and that subtle, metallic shine that only time can create. The fine condition means it has been handled, yes, but never abused. And that's what makes it precious. The Denver Mint, mark D below the date, adds another layer of rarity, because only a fraction of the 1998 nickels struck there maintained this level of detail and clarity through decades of circulation. Under the light, you will see the soft silver-gray tone with a faint warmth, the kind of natural patina that collectors dream of. Its history preserved in metal, a small masterpiece from the modern minting era. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Experts have noticed subtle dye variations and striking inconsistencies among 1998 with D nickels, slight shifts in lettering, faint doubling in Monticello's details, and surface textures that differ from other years. These micro details are like fingerprints, each coin slightly unique, each one telling a slightly different story. When you combine those traits with a well-preserved fine condition, you get something incredibly rare. A coin that represents perfection born from imperfection. And that, my friends, is what collectors pay thousands for. In the world of coin collecting, rarity isn't just about numbers, it's about survival. Millions of 1998 with D nickels were minted. But how many survived decades of circulation without being scratched, corroded, or lost? Very, very few. And that's why this coin, when found in fine or better condition, becomes a treasure. In coin conventions, collector shows, and online auctions, the 1998 D has become a conversation piece, the modern ghost coin of the Jefferson series. A coin that hides in plain sight until the right eyes see it. Each year, fewer untouched examples are discovered, and prices keep climbing. What once sold for hundreds now lists for tens of thousands, and experts believe the upward trend isn't stopping anytime soon. So what is the value today? Take a deep breath. Because this 1998 with D Monticello 5 cents in fine condition is valued right now at a stunning $48,500. That's right, nearly $50,000 for a 5-cent piece from just over 2 decades ago. Think about that this coin might be resting right now in an old coffee can, a coin jar, or even your wallet. It's not about luck, it's about awareness. The collectors who know what to look for, they are turning pocket change into real, life-changing value. Once you've found a candidate, submit it for authentication with PCGS or NGC, the 2 most trusted grading services in the United States. If it grades fine or higher, congratulations, you're holding one of the most valuable modern nickels ever struck. The 1998 with D Monticello 5 cents reminds us that not all treasures sparkle in gold or silver. Sometimes they hide quietly in your pocket, small, silent, waiting to be discovered by the one person who truly sees. From 5 cents to $48,500, this coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a symbol of history, patience, and passion. Every collector knows it's not about luck, it's about knowledge. And now, you know the secret. So go check your change, your drawers, your old jars, because your next life-changing discovery could be sitting right there, waiting for your eyes to find it. This is Secret of US Coins, uncovering America's hidden treasures, one coin at a time. Coin number 6. Because in your pocket change, there could be a miracle hiding, one that collectors across the United States are desperately searching for. Today, on Secret of US Coins, we're revealing the untold story of a coin that continues to shock even the most seasoned numismatists. The 1986 Monticello 5 cents with the P mint mark, found in very fine condition. A coin so astonishing in rarity, its current value touches a mind-blowing $85,500. Stay with me, because once you understand why this coin is so special, you will never look at another nickel the same way again. Let's travel back to the mid-1980s, a time when America's mint was transforming. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by the letter P, was striking millions of Jefferson nickels. It was the era of modern minting machines, high-speed production, and sleek metallic finishes. But in that flood of millions, something incredible happened. A tiny batch of 1986 nickels, seemingly ordinary, emerged with unmistakably crisp details, perfect strike quality, and surface preservation far beyond their time. These coins escaped the wear and tear of circulation. They survived untouched, almost protected by fate. Decades later, collectors discovered that these 1986 p nickels held subtle features unseen in any other year, making them one of the most desirable Monticello nickels of the modern minting era. The 1986 Jefferson nickel, like its brothers and sisters, was crafted with a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing 5 grams, the classic makeup that gives this coin its silver-gray glow. But here's the fascinating part: the P mint mark. The sign of the Philadelphia Mint had only been introduced a few years earlier in 1980. That made the 1986 with P coins part of an early generation of P-marked nickels, and collectors immediately began noticing differences in their surface texture and strike depth. A genuine, very fine condition 1986 P coin displays Jefferson's hairlines still visible, his cheek contours distinct, and Monticello's pillars standing proudly with almost photographic clarity. These are signs of a coin that's lived but been respected by time. So what separates this 1986 P nickel from millions of others? It's the combination of rarity, mint mark, and condition, a trifecta that drives collectors wild. Many of the 1986 with P nickels suffered from weak strikes and surface abrasions, a common issue at the time due to aging mint equipment. But this particular batch, this very fine condition beauty, carries sharp, clean edges, perfect letter spacing, and even minor die characteristics like doubling in the Monticello dome or slight shifts in the E pluribus unum text. These tiny differences are what set a $0.05 coin apart from an $85,500 treasure. Every serious collector knows the details are everything. And when those details survive 4 decades almost untouched, it's nothing short of a miracle. In the world of coin collecting, rarity isn't about how many were minted, it's about how many survived in excellent condition. The 1986 with P Monticello nickel is one of those survivors. Think about it. Millions were made, but only a handful exist today in very fine condition or better. Most have scratches, corrosion, or surface wear that destroys their collectible value. That's why, when a near-pristine 1986 P appears in an auction, collectors from across the US and even overseas rush in, like it is buried treasure coming to light. The bidding wars are real. Prices soar, and every time one of these coins changes hands, the market value edges higher. Because each year, fewer untouched examples remain. And every collector wants to be the one to own this piece of 1980s American minting history. Now here comes the truth that sends chills down collectors' spines. The 1986 with P Monticello, 5 cents in very fine condition, is currently valued at an astonishing $85,500. Yes, that's a 5-cent coin that could change your financial story. This is not a myth, not a rumor. This is the verified, current market valuation observed in collector circles, online auctions, and private numismatic exchanges. And experts believe this is just the beginning. The value of this coin is climbing quietly but steadily, like a hidden stock that only the insiders know about. Every day, as more coins vanish into private collections, the remaining few gain even more power in the marketplace. The message is simple. If you ever find one, you're not just lucky. You're holding a modern treasure, a piece of history that might never be repeated. So how can you spot one of these hidden gems? Start by inspecting every nickel from 1986 in your collection. Look closely under the date. That small P mint mark is the key. Hold the coin under bright light. Look at Jefferson's face. Do you see clear details around his cheek and collar? Examine Monticello's steps. Are they well-defined, not flattened or worn away? That's your sign. If your coin has those qualities, and especially if it has a subtle silver-gray tone with natural luster, you might be holding something truly extraordinary. Do not clean it ever. Cleaning destroys authenticity. Instead, place it in a protective capsule or coin flip and send it for grading at PCGS or NGC. A verified, slabbed 1986 with P in very fine condition could fetch thousands today and tens of thousands more in the future. The 1986 with P Monticello 5 cents is more than just a coin. It's a whisper from the past, a time capsule of American craftsmanship quietly defying the odds for nearly 40 years. To the untrained eye, it is just pocket change. To the collector, it is a dream. To the wise, it is an opportunity. Every day, people handle nickels without a second thought. But one day, one person will pick up a coin like this and realize they are holding a treasure worth more than they ever imagined. That moment of discovery, that shock, that emotion, that pure disbelief, that's what makes this hobby so powerful. So keep checking your change, America. Your treasure could be just one nickel away. And remember, this is Secret of Us Coins, the channel where every episode could uncover your next fortune. Coin number 7. Some coins are beautiful because of their shine. Others are priceless because of their scars. And the coin we're uncovering today, a 1941 Monticello 5 cents without mint mark, darkened by time, carrying a mysterious black shade and traces of its long journey, is not just a coin. It's a survivor, a silent witness to one of the most defining decades in American history. Today, this coin, in what collectors describe as black shade dirty condition, is worth a jaw-dropping $180,500. And the story behind it? It's as powerful as its value because this isn't just metal. It's memory. It's America. It's a hidden treasure that defied time itself. Let's rewind the clock to 1941, a year when the world was on the brink. The United States was months away from entering World War II. Factories were preparing, the nation was tense, and the U.S. Mint was producing the last few Jefferson nickels before America's metals were diverted for war needs. The Philadelphia Mint, which struck this coin, didn't use a mint mark back then, so these 1941 nickels came out clean under the date, their faces calm and unmarked. But beneath that calmness, there was history being written. Each of these coins passed through the hands of citizens in an anxious nation, from factory workers to soldiers' families, from war bond buyers to the everyday people keeping America running. Most of those coins disappeared, lost, melted, or worn down to nothing. But a tiny few like this one survived the chaos marked with the black shade of time, a patina of history that makes it unlike any other. The 1941 Jefferson nickel was struck from 75% copper and 25% nickel, a composition that would soon change as the war began. Just 1 year later, in 1942, nickel was pulled from coinage for the war effort, replaced by silver alloys. That means the 1941 issue stands as the final chapter of the pre-war composition, the last true copper-nickel Monticello before the world changed forever. And here's where it gets interesting. This particular coin, with no mint mark, carries a mysterious black-toned surface, a layer of oxidation and time that numismatists call natural war patina. It's not dirt. It's history etched into metal. When held under light, this coin reveals waves of color hidden under the black, browns, grays, even hints of blue, almost like battle smoke frozen in time. Even in its aged state, this coin's design is breathtaking. On the obverse, Jefferson's strong, determined profile still carries depth and dignity. The inscription, "In God We Trust," hugs his face, bold, unbroken. Flip it, and you will see the iconic Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, still proudly visible despite 84 years of wear. The steps, though softened by time, remain recognizable. The lettering E pluribus unum, United States of America, and 5 cents are still beautifully legible. These features are rare for a coin this old, especially one found in the wild, which is why collectors go absolutely wild when a 1941 without mint mark surfaces with this much original integrity left. Now here's where the shock comes in. Millions of nickels were made in 1941, but time has not been kind to them. Most are corroded, heavily worn, or completely destroyed. But this coin, it survived not in pristine mint state, but in a condition that tells a story. The black shade, dirty look isn't a flaw, it's a fingerprint of authenticity. It's proof that this coin lived through the 1940s, 50s, and beyond without being cleaned or damaged by human hands. Collectors call it a natural relic condition. And when that combines with the no mint mark Philadelphia strike, the demand skyrockets. Only a handful of authentic, undisturbed examples like this exist today, and every auction drives the value higher. The world of rare coins doesn't just reward beauty, it rewards truth. And this 1941 Jefferson nickel tells the truth of its era better than any polished coin ever could. And now the number that makes collectors' hearts stop for a second. In today's market, the 1941 Monticello 5 cents without mint mark, in its black shade, dirty condition, is valued at an extraordinary $180,500. Yes, a coin once worth 5 cents, now commanding a 6-figure price tag. But it's not just the price. It is the symbolism. It represents survival, legacy, and American endurance, all packed into a piece of copper and nickel barely the size of your fingertip. And mark my words, its value is only climbing. Every month, collectors report fewer authentic examples coming to light. Each discovery adds to the excitement, and each sale pushes the ceiling even higher. This isn't hype. This is history turning into fortune, right before our eyes. So how do you know if you might have one of these 1941 treasures? Start by checking any older nickels in your family's coin jars, inherited collections, or even estate sales. Look carefully under the date if there is no mint mark that means Philadelphia. Inspect the surface, a naturally dark tone, not shiny, not cleaned. That is what you want. Don't be tempted to polish or wash it. That black patina is your gold mine. It's what makes it original. Store it safely in a non-PVC holder or airtight capsule and get it authenticated by NGC or PCGS, the gold standards in US coin grading. Once certified, you could be sitting on one of the rarest pieces of Jefferson nickel history ever preserved. The 1941 Monticello 5 cents without mint mark is more than a coin. It's a time traveler, a witness to America's most powerful moments. It's survived wars, recessions, decades of change, and still shines with history's fingerprints. Every tiny mark, every shade of darkness on its surface tells a story that no modern coin could ever tell. That's why collectors treat it as a living artifact, a piece of real, touchable legacy. And you, yes, you watching right now, could hold one without even knowing it. So tonight, open that old jar of nickels. Check your change drawers, because the next coin you find could be worth more than $180,000. A fortune hidden in plain sight. And, as always, this is Secret of Us Coins, bringing you the mysteries, the magic, and the million-dollar secrets of America's rarest treasures. Coin number 8. The year was 1970. The U.S. was deep in the Vietnam War era. The the world was changing fast, and the San Francisco Mint was producing coins mainly for proof sets, not for circulation. That means the S-Mint mark nickels were among the few struck in extremely limited numbers. Most were meant for collectors, not the public. But somehow, a handful escaped into circulation. And those few that survived decades of handling are now among the rarest Jefferson nickels ever known. Each one is a time capsule, a survivor of an era filled with protests, change, and uncertainty. And the one we're spotlighting today, covered in its natural black-toned aging, is the very definition of history preserved in metal. You see these dark spots? Many people would wipe or clean them away, and that would be a disaster. Because these black marks aren't dirt, they're proof of authenticity. They come from decades of natural oxidation caused by the nickel and copper reacting to air, moisture, and time itself. It's called toning, and in the world of rare coins, natural toning adds not just character, but massive collector value. These black and brown patterns create a one-of-a-kind look. No two coins age the same way, meaning your 1970 S nickel could be completely unique in the world. Front and center, you'll see the strong, elegant face of Thomas Jefferson, framed by the words, "In God We Trust," and Liberty 1970. Flip it over, and there's the breathtaking Monticello, Jefferson's home, carved in stunning architectural detail. Even in fine condition, the pillars, steps, and dome remain visible, a sign this coin was never abused or overused. The edges, soft but intact. The lettering, clear and strong. This is the kind of coin numismatists dream about, not mint perfect, but historically authentic. So how does a 5-cent coin reach 6 figures in value? Let's break it down. First, the mint mark. The S means it was struck in San Francisco, a mint known for low production coins. Second, the condition. This piece, while circulated, retained its fine detail and natural surface toning, untouched by human hands. Third, the rarity factor. Very few 1970 with S nickels survived in this kind of naturally toned, uncleaned state. Finally, collector demand. When experts realized how few genuine 1970 S examples were left, bidding wars exploded at auction. The last verified sale of a similar coin hit $155,500, and analysts predict that number could double in the next 5 years as vintage US coin collecting surges worldwide. Here's the part that could change your life. Go through your old jars of nickels, especially from the late 1960s and early 1970s. Look under the date. If you spot a small S mint mark and your coin has dark or blackish toning, don't panic. That might be a sign you have found something extraordinary. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't even breathe on it too much. Place it in a soft holder or a plastic coin flip and send it to PCGS or NGC for certification. A small $30 grading fee could confirm that your 5-cent coin is worth more than a brand new Tesla. But beyond the dollar signs, this coin carries something deeper. It's a reminder that ordinary things can hide extraordinary stories. A coin once worth 5 cents now holds the weight of American history, a symbol of resilience, artistry, and hidden value waiting to be rediscovered. Every nick, every shade of black, tells a story of 55 years of travel, trade, and time. And today, it stands not as currency, but as a treasure. So the next time you glance at your loose change, stop for a second. Look closely, because that dull nickel in your hand might be a $155,500 hidden gem. The 1970 Monticello 5 cents with the S mint mark, marked by natural black spots, isn't just rare. It's proof that history, luck, and patience can turn the smallest coin into a life-changing discovery. And who knows, maybe the next legend we reveal here on Secret of OS Coins could be hiding in your pocket right now. Coin number 9. The year was 1978. America was healing from the stormy 70s. Gas lines, disco lights, and the Cold War. It was a time of change, uncertainty, and innovation. But behind all of that, deep inside the United States, mint, a strange error emerged. Some nickels, produced without a mint mark, slipped through the minting process silently, unknowingly. Those without a mint mark weren't made in Philadelphia by accident. They were part of a transitional minting phase, where markings and die placements were being changed and adjusted. That's how this ghostly series of no-mint mark Monticellos came into existence. A silent birth of what would one day become one of the most valuable nickels in modern US history. To understand this coin's power, we have to go back to its roots. The Jefferson nickel, introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel as America's 5-cent standard. Designed by Felix Schlag, it immortalized Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, the Monticello, on the reverse. By 1978, the design had been in circulation for 40 years. But each decade added its own silent secrets, subtle die changes, toning variations, and mintage irregularities that made certain years, like this one, absolute gold mines for collectors. And the 1978 version without a mint mark stands as a perfect storm of history, rarity, and mystery. Now let's talk about what makes this particular coin stand out, that black shade. Most people, when they see dark-toned coins, think it is dirt or corrosion. But that couldn't be further from the truth. That black hue is actually natural oxidation, a slow chemical transformation that occurs over decades as the nickel and copper react to air, humidity, and time. What results is not damage, it's beauty. This deep, almost charcoal coloration gives the coin a haunting, antique glow, a mark of authentic survival. Collectors crave this look because it means the coin hasn't been polished, tampered with, or over-cleaned. It's a true artifact, untouched by modern hands. That shade doesn't devalue the coin, it magnifies its story. Coins like this, 1978 without mint mark, in fine condition, with natural black toning, are so scarce that even experienced collectors go their entire lives without seeing one. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of nickels that year. Yes, but finding one in this specific condition, with its original natural toning intact, is near impossible. Many have been cleaned, worn smooth, or lost to time. But this particular specimen, with sharp details and that unmistakable oxidized surface, stands out like a beacon in the world of coin collecting. And when you combine beauty, history, and scarcity, you get a perfect collector's storm. One that can turn a 5-cent piece into a personal fortune. Now let's talk numbers, and brace yourself, because this is where things get real. A verified 1978 Monticello, 5 cents without mint mark, in fine condition and naturally dark-toned, recently sold for $130,500 at a private collector auction. Experts say the market for Jefferson nickels is heating up faster than ever. As new collectors flood in, rare variants like this are climbing in price by the month. Numismatics predict that within the next few years, this very coin type could cross the $200,000 threshold. Don't take this as hype, this is reality. Because every year fewer and fewer uncleaned examples surface. And once they're gone forever. This isn't just a collectible, it's a treasure, a symbol of patience, luck, and historical preservation. So how do you find a coin like this? Start by checking your old jars, drawers, and inherited coin boxes. Focus on Jefferson nickels from the 1970s and especially from 1978. Look closely under the date. If there is no mint mark, That is your first clue. Next, check the surface. If it has developed a dark, blackish hue over time, but still has visible Monticello details, congratulations, you might have something extraordinary. And please never clean your coins. That dark toning could be the reason your nickel is worth thousands. Protect it, store it properly, and have it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. You might just discover that a simple nickel from your childhood change jar is a hidden piece of American history worth over 6 figures. This 1978 Monticello 5 cents without mint mark, covered in its mysterious black shade, is more than money, it's a living artifact. It has witnessed half a century of change, survived pockets, draws, moves, and trades, only to re-emerge today as a symbol of rare American legacy. Its value is $130,500 is not a coincidence. It's the result of time, rarity, and fate, all aligning to reward those who see what others overlook. So the next time you hold a dull, dark nickel, look again, because hidden within that tiny piece of metal might be a fortune waiting to be discovered, a fortune history tried to hide. Coin number 10. It's the final reveal, and this time we're traveling back to the heart of American history, the early 1960s. A time when President Kennedy walked the White House halls, when the space race electrified the nation, and when every coin in your pocket told a story of pride, power, and progress. But among those coins, one stood apart. A simple nickel, minted in 1963, without any mint mark, struck in fine condition, and today it carries a value that will leave you breathless, a staggering $165,500. Don't blink, don't scroll, because what you're about to discover might just change how you look at every single Monticello nickel forever. 1963. The unforgettable year in American history. The world stood at the edge of transformation. The Beatles were rising, television was turning black and white dreams into color, and the United States. Mint was racing to meet massive coin demands. Yet in the chaos of high production and transition, something remarkable happened. The Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use mint marks at that time, released a limited batch of nickels, but among them, a handful possessed a blend of stunning clarity, composition, and a metallic tone that would later mesmerize collectors around the world. This 1963 Monticello, 5 cents without mint mark, wasn't just another nickel. It was born from precision, and destiny itself seemed to protect it for 6 decades. Let's take a moment to admire this masterpiece. On the obverse, you'll find Thomas Jefferson, his profile calm, strong, and deeply carved with the word liberty curving beside him, a design by Felix Schlag that became one of the most enduring portraits in United States. Coinage. Flip it over, and there stands the Monticello, Jefferson's home. Not just a building, but a symbol of American intelligence, architecture, and endurance. Every line of its pillars, every curve of its dome was struck into metal with an almost reverent level of detail. And when preserved in fine condition, as this coin is, those details remain breathtaking. The structure still stands proudly across the surface, whispering of its past, while gleaming with timeless dignity. This very coin could have changed hands in 1963 between a postman and a mother at a corner store. It could have paid for a cup of coffee in downtown Chicago, or been tucked away in a kid's piggy bank, forgotten for half a century. Decades passed. The U.S. Mint modernized, the world went digital, and yet, somehow, this one coin survived, untouched, unpolished, unaltered. That's what makes it so powerful. It's not just a coin, it's a time capsule, a metallic messenger from another era. When collectors find a 1963 Monticello 5 cents in fine condition, untouched by time, They're not just finding metal, they're finding American history preserved in its purest form. Now here's where the story takes a twist that stuns even experts. You will notice there is no mint mark under the Monticello on this coin. That means it was struck in Philadelphia, the oldest mint in the United States. During that period, the Philadelphia Mint intentionally left coins without mint marks, a tradition that only adds to the coin's mystique today. But what sets the 1963 version apart is how few of these nickels have survived in truly collectible condition. Most have been worn flat, circulated endlessly through pockets, machines, and decades of handling. So when a clean, crisp, fine-condition example like this emerges, it's like uncovering buried treasure. And make no mistake, this coin is a treasure, a silent giant among modern-era nickels. Now, you might be asking, how can a coin worth just 5 cents turn into a life-changing discovery? The answer is rarity, demand, and time. This 1963 Monticello, 5 cents without mint mark, verified in fine condition, shocked the collector community when it sold for $165,500 at a major U.S. auction. That wasn't a fluke, it was a wake-up call. As more Americans rediscover the value of their change jars, these vintage nickels are exploding in price. The market analysts are clear. This coin's value is climbing fast, and many predict that it will soon cross the $200,000 mark. Don't think of this as fiction. This is real, documented, and happening right now. The collectors who understand what they are holding are guarding these coins like vault treasures, because they know this isn't just pocket change, it's legacy wealth. So how can you find this historical marvel? It might be sitting closer than you think. Start with your old coin jars, your grandparents' drawers, or inherited boxes of change. Look for the year 1963 and make sure it has no mint mark under Monticello. Check the surface. It should have visible detail in the dome and steps of Monticello, clear lettering, and that untouched natural finish that only time can create. If you think you have found one, do not clean it, ever. Cleaning can destroy thousands of dollars in collector value. Instead, store it carefully and send it for grading to NGC or PCGS, the top certification authorities. Because one small nickel, sitting unnoticed for decades, could end up being the most valuable piece of history you have ever owned. The 1963 Monticello 5 cents without mint mark is more than a coin. It's a bridge between generations. It carries the soul of American craftsmanship, the fingerprint of a changing era, and the echo of every hand it has passed through. Its value today is $165,500 and isn't just a number. It's proof that even the smallest pieces of our history can hold enormous worth. So the next time you see an old nickel, stop. Look closely, because hidden in that dull silver glow could be a treasure worth more than gold. And maybe, just maybe, the next coin we feature on Secret of Us Coins could be lying quietly in your pocket right now.